You suddenly gain omnipotent power. What's the first thing you do? Share your stories in the comments. What do you think about it? Enjoy watching. Story 1. Given that it was not specified that this also comes with omniscience, I could not possibly understand the drastic effects of large-scale changes, like curing all diseases or whatever. The ramifications are unknowable and potentially catastrophic. You never know. So probably use it to slightly alter the lives of myself and those I care about in a way that generally makes it easier. A bit of money couldn't hurt, right? Story 2. Abolish rules, laws, police, and anyone who desires power or control. If y'all don't like it, I'll abolish you next. If everyone is happy and free, then I will abolish any power that I possess. I've never wanted power. I think it's wrong as a concept. Free means free. Not free to do what you like as long as it's this, or this. The only truly free people in existence are the same people you hate for not having a roof over their head. Your roofs have taken ownership of you. They never abolished slavery. They just allowed everyone in. Your degree of enslavement depends on your compliance, conformity, willingness to obey, and whether you are caught committing crimes. F this world. F society. We are divided. We have been conquered. The best slave is one who thinks he's free. Think about that for a minute. That's you. Do your research. Story 3. Vaporize some religious extremists, maybe a few dictators. Bring down the global temperature a little, both politically and physically. Make life easier for some friends and family. Then have a lot more fun when I'm wrenching on stuff. Stuck bolt? Not anymore. Wiped cam lobe? No, it isn't. Mystery issue? I can see the whole thing in cross-section while it's operating. Story 4. Make karma real and instant. Make your thousands of logistics employees unable to pee during work hours? Add that all up, and that's how long you'll be unable to pee. Make your employees unable to live with their income? That's what you'll be living on for the remaining employees' X days of your life. Story 5. Seek revenge and destroy my enemies with their worst fears come to life and revive them after death to commit it once more. Maybe keep them alive to prolong the fun a bit longer and make them watch as their loved ones suffer the same fate due to their actions committed in this life. And when I had my fun, delete their existence from this universe. I don't even want their memory to exist. Story 6. First, I'd fix the planet. Eliminate all the horrible people. Horrible is relative, but that would be my judgment since I'm all-powerful. Basically, I'd be playing the role of God. After the world population is significantly reduced, I'd address climate change and other social issues. Once that's fixed, I think I'd relax for a bit, travel the world, with the long-term goal of exploring the universe. I'd probably go back in time to witness moments in human history for myself, see the dinosaurs, etc., and then expand further. Perhaps find other intelligent life. Story 7. I would give everyone an ironclad immune system and immortality. Eliminate weapons. Eliminate poverty and wealth inequality, so everyone was comfortable and had ample living space. Eliminate money. Completely automate all jobs that can be automated. Eliminate insurance. Make everything easily fixable with a 4D fixing device. There would always be food in stores and it would always be free. No one would take more than they need because the food would always there. Humans would no longer be chained to busy work jobs to generate wealth for a tiny rich asshole majority. We would finally truly be free. Story 8. I would prove I'm smarter than the dumbasses at my school. At my private school, they think I'm stupid because I'm tall, broad, and athletic. Some fuckers actually call me the barbarian or brain dead. I've tried to prove as much as I can that I'm no legacy child. If I was omnipotent and I'd prove how I know more shit than they could ever hope, I would school them on everything they think they're insane at. I'll make them wish they never called me brain dead as I name the capitals of South Sudan, then Bhutan in 0.5 seconds, as I find another element of the periodic table, as I solve impossible equations before they can say done. Story 9. Cure all STIS, cure all cancer, cure all neurological diseases, create more land, stop all wars, restore native wildlife ecosystems, de-extinct recent extinct species that are beneficial, remove invasive species to their native range, get rid of all virus and bacterias that are harmful to humans, give every native ethnic minority group their own land, fix the food and water crisis, bring back HBO's Carnival Story 10, give myself omniscience, then omnipresence, then immortality and invulnerability. If we're talking the first action I'd take that would have an effect on others, I would knowingly cripple the world economies by purging the coffers of the richest people in the world and spread their wealth to the people. Then I'd work on repairing what I broke, either by modifying the systems in place or creating entirely new ones that benefit everyone and not just a few lucky people. Story 11. Oh boy, I have thoughts on that. First thing I do is I create a place outside of the universe. Let's call it room hash 1, R1. Inside R1, Time flows just like inside of the universe. Every 24H, as soon as I am inside of the universe, the state of the entire universe gets backed up inside of R1, including my own state. If 24H pass without me interacting with R1, it resets the universe to the state it was 2 saves ago, so anywhere from 48H to 72H ago, puts me inside of R1, and gives me a blatant warning that the universe was reset, as well as the recording of why it happened. Then I make R2, that backs up the state of the universe and R1 every year, and requires me to interact with it once a year. And if I don't, it resets the universe to the state it was 2 saves ago. I also make it so that nothing can influence R1 and the universe at the same time, unless they do it from R2. And I do that for R3, R4, R5, R6 with like 10 years, 1,000 years, 1 million years, 1 billion years, and give myself an awareness of the different timers that I need to care about. That's the baseline of the universe now. As long as no one fucks up R6, any mistakes I make are recoverable. From there, the next priorities are confirming I'm the only omniscient person, and if so, preventing anyone else from becoming omniscient, and if not, making sure no one else ever becomes omniscient again. Then, pausing the universe, working on a simple on-demand save state system inside of R1, fucking that up has tremendously bad consequences. As a rule, I probably shouldn't ever be able to load any of the automatic save states from R1 R6 ever, and I should never be able to make manual save states while I'm still inside of the universe. That way there's never 2 of me running around, and taking a few days, months to read up on ethics so that the situation can be handled properly. And after that, I'll make a save state of the universe, and, well, depends on the conclusions from all of the ethics stuff, but probably some light changes to the world. Maybe making people emit a bright red glow when they lie, and that probably solves quite a few problems with humans in general. And if I fuck things up, well, everything is backed up. Story 12. I would roleplay as Superman, but try and stay politically neutral, but then probably side with a political candidate and say something like, if the other guy wins, I'm going to sit at home for the next 4 years. You can't make me save the world, but if my guy wins, I will help. I would probably only work with the US government as the ultimate weapon and war deterrent. I wouldn't want to use all my power because omnipotent would imply unlimited, so God level, but I would want to be Superman level. Story 13. Every single driver that does something that endangers other drivers on the road will suddenly find themselves, and their car, yanked 40F'd up into the sky, but their vehicle will not hover over trees or anything that may break their fall. Only open land, or if nearby water, then way out far enough away from shore. Then their vehicle will start to periodically shake, like one shakes a can of spray paint. They will not be able to open their door or unbuckle their seatbelt. Between the fear of being dropped and the brain cell damage from the rigorous shaking of their vehicle with the driver trapped in their car, the driver will then have a glaringly non-avoidable message in front of their face that will tell them what they did wrong and why they shouldn't do that. It will repeat itself again and again, with the end of the message asking the driver to acknowledge their selfish stupidity. It will also warn them that if they do another dumb driving move that endangers other drivers, they will immediately have their vehicle yanked up once more, and the process repeated. The driver will not be able to look away from the message. Even if they close their eyes, the message will be scrolling behind their eyelids. Basically, no ignoring it. And if the driver manages to somehow get out of their vehicle, they're welcome to risk breaking their legs jumping out, or drowning due to exhaustion if they're over a body of water. The vehicle will be sure to whack them as they jump out for one last good measure. If they manage to survive either, they won't get their vehicle back. It'll just disappear. Also, this rule applies to any type of vehicle they try to use. If the driver promises to pay attention to the rules of the road and not be an idiot while driving, the vehicle and driver will then be teleported to wherever they were last parked, so that they may proceed once again to wherever they were going, but hopefully while not distracted or being a road ass. Story 14. Double World Hunger. Have all resources. Change the rules of electricity so that current electronics no longer work. Everyone forgets how to read and write. Delete economics. Managers, CEOs, and politicians go to an alternate reality with no laborers to discover the pointlessness of their existence. Also, now they're immortal. Tell a few guys in the Middle East they're my favorite dudes, and then disappear and don't say anything for 5,000 years. Story 15. Delete and prevent all irrational, unethical thought. Replace with ethical and rational thoughts only that doesn't harm. Let's help our brethren one living organism to another. Wipe off all cancer, diseases, viruses. People, and especially children, cannot get sick anymore. Reverse global warming. Better climate for living. Make inhabitable places habitable. deserts into fertile land, more space for living and more food for the people living longer. Make seawater portable, sustain for all living organisms, plants, animals, humans. Our seawater becomes drinkable without further treatment. More resources to grow food for more people. Build a Dyson sphere and a way to transmit the power back to Earth. Story 16, order DoorDash every day, mostly ice cream. Go back to smoking. Cyberbully the fuck out of people in online video games and win every match. Show up to any event with a car that's nicer than everyone else's, and also be able to say any slur. Story 17. Be the wise, kind, powerful, wrathful, and forgiving God figure that the Bible and religions of the all-world promise except all-inclusive, no outsiders. Empower a few people to assist me through their mortal lives. Let's call them disciples. In other words, overwatch, protect, and perform a few miracles in person on a regular basis. Get everyone on the same page and working together. Put down any greedy squabbles and harmful ideologies. Take problematic people aside in a Scrooge fashion and alter their perceptions and ideals. The world is pretty well off right now, but it absolutely could use a helping hand to nudge it in a more positive direction. I am now also immortal and indestructible. Omniscience would be handy as a god, but it wouldn't be any fun not being able to learn anything new or be surprised by anything. Maybe limited omniscience, seeing a couple minutes or so ahead or reading an object, person or thing to see its past, present, and potential futures. Story 18. Cure my horrible cystic acne, trim myself down some, give myself enough money to live for the rest of my life. Maybe then I'd actually be able to go back to school BC. I wouldn't have to worry about failure. I don't even want to look good for other people. I just don't want to have to avoid every mirror forever. Story 19. Appear before every living person, OFC not showing my body or face. With my omnipotent power, I'd translate my words into their language in their ears. I'd issue a few commandments, posing as God, to always be kind, to support one another, not to compete with, subjugate or abuse one another. Look to the stars and the seas, expand outwards and bring life to new worlds, to preserve the wonders of the earth so that the next generation may experience them. Upon my departure, my image to not be used as a means of control, to not add to my commandments, alter nor flaunt around them, to abide by them for all time. I'd suggest that good faith to the commandments would be rewarded with rebirth. Bad faith would lead to eternal darkness, for their souls to be left behind while others lived on, fulfilling the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Basically, Christianity but no threats, no idyllic afterlife, and no eternal torment. Plus, a lot less rules and doctrine. I'd use my omnipotence to actually fulfill my promises, rebirthing some people into the bodies of others after they die with memories preserved to prove my point and to keep faith. Then most likely I'd live life as normal, set up a successful business or a couple, make sure my kids have a comfortable life so they can actively choose what they want to do, then probably die. Story 20. Create a vast mansion of gold somewhere. Else, floating in space thingy. Make sure it's possible to live there. Put every single dictator and every single one of their ideological supporters there. Poof. Gone. Trouble us no more. About returning, no. Sorry. But once per year or so, I'd visit and see if any of them has considered doing better. Story 21. My sister talking about some random food she tried. I didn't like the taste, but I liked the way it felt in my mouth. We were at the beach, and I heard her say this right when I came up from under the water. I popped up, said, "That's what she said," and went back under the water. My sister was dying laughing. My mom, who was out of the loop, responded with, "That's what who said." Story 22. Every day, the biggest asshole who is a world leader dies. This include heads of state, heads of legislature, heads of religions, CEOs, chairmen, and billionaires. I give it a week before every one of them either resigns, divests, or suddenly decides become the best leader they can. Also, all the chronic illness like migraines, ALS, chronic fatigue, and so on are cured. Story 23. Assuming this allows God to exist, let's fix some of his obvious fuck-ups. Make it so no one has the need to hold power over another in any form or fashion, or feel the need to have someone else control them. Or, get rid of the human nature of always wanting more or the next big thing. Erase greed, gluttony, jealousy from human capabilities. Or, eliminate religion. Or eliminate sexual abuse. Just make it something a person couldn't even conceive. On the less serious note, let's get rid of the need for excretion. We will create another way for plants and bugs to get what they crave, and we free up at least one room in most modern homes. Story 24. Continue as I currently am, just without sickness, and fixing any physical problems. I'd let myself age, and just use my power to make things a bit easier and convenient. Then, when I feel like I would normally die, I'd create a duplicate body that would die, and I'd leave Earth, travel around the universe for a few eternities, and eventually come back and explore history and such. Then I play with history and see what would happen if I did certain things. I've got time since I've made myself immortal, so I just toy around with reality. Story 25. Design a reality that I can play the main character while it's being controlled by another version of myself that makes sure all outcomes provide enough of a challenge to keep me motivated and successful. The me that's experiencing the reality only knows that it was planned after death. And with the knowledge of how redundant it all was becomes clear, the reality me can take over and make changes for the next version, repeating times of normalcy and times of great success infinitely. Can't be bored then. Story 26. I'd go full Thanos and remove every single person on the planet who wishes ill on other people just because they exist. My world, and yes, it would be my world, will be peaceful, and everybody remaining will be happy. There wouldn't be death. There'd just be a few billion people who stopped existing and were never remembered. Once the planet was a paradise, I'd probably go travel the universe and check out all the cool shit. Story 27. I think would remove all nuclear warheads from all countries, but I have to figure out where I'm going to take them. And what do I with them? I would need someone to disassemble them, and all uranium and plutonium deposits would have to go, so more bombs could not be made. But go where? Is that even possible? Never mind. Omnipotence would be wasted on me. Only smart people need apply. Story 28. Where to start? Make my family healthy and in shape. De-age my parents a couple of decades. De-age my dog and extend his lifespan. Fix the stuff wrong in my body and then it gets fun. First, it's easy. Fix the damage we've done to the planet. Clean the garbage patch in the oceans. Refreeze the fresh water in the oceans back to glaciers and in the poles. Remove all unnecessary greenhouse gases off the atmosphere. Reforest the lands. Reduce the deserts. Clean the waste of the ocean. Bring back the Aral Sea. Then the smaller stuff. Bringing back extant species and put them at balance with the food chains. Cure the worst diseases. Make dogs live as long as humans. Make sure every dog has a home. Then we go to the people. I would instantly give top-tier infrastructure to every nation. Reorganize and clean all cities and towns on Earth to make them walkable and making cars completely irrelevant. Create bullet train tracks all over the world to connect every place. Create hyperfast trains for long-distance movement. Build super-secure nuclear plants to provide power to everyone, or just straight up create cold fusion. Revitalize all arable soil on Earth, and find a way to secure animal protein without creating an excess in biomass. Then we go into societal stuff. I'd get rid of ignorance by immediately educating every human to the equivalent of a college-level degree, with advanced understanding of science and nature, as well as dialing up everyone's sympathy, compassion, and empathy. Then I'd get rid of the dangerous aspects of society, from money to overworking, and make law enforcement perfect and infallible. I'd get rid of all religions and ideologies, starting with the more dangerous ones first, and then working my way up. I'd instate governments with triple or quadruple measures against corruption and crime. I'd dissolve all countries and set up a unified language that everyone should learn as their second one to ensure universal communication while keeping every culture. I'd make everyone as physically attractive as they can physically be, and set a minimum standard of living roughly higher than a decently wealthy person has today. I'd eliminate all negative or dangerous personality or mental traits like sociopathy, psychopathy, pedophilia, zoophilia, borderline personality, bipolar, etc., immediately reforming all criminals and dangerous individuals to make them outstanding and good members of society. It'll take me a week to fix everything, and once I get things in order, then we go about terraforming Venus and Mars into habitable, lush planets with arable lands, instantly making living infrastructure in them and moving parts of the populations to them. Also create space travel to bridge the gap between worlds to almost nothing. I'd get that done in another month, and then I'll just relax for the rest of my very long life, knowing that the world is finally a good place. Story 29. Get some sleep. I haven't been able to get a decent night's sleep in years, except when I was in the hospital for surgery. My first act would be to solve that issue. I really would like a full night of sleep. No waking up after a couple of hours, then waking again, then waking again, then waking again. No waking and laying awake, trying everything I know to get back to sleep. No waking at 1:30 a.m. and giving up on the hope of sleeping again. So getting out of bed at 3 a.m. No, pills have not helped for any amount of time so far. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Be sure to write comments and share your stories.